Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News. This is a weekly BMX news show where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week within the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about. That being said, we've got a couple highlights, one of them being the title and probably why you clicked on this video, and that is that Dan's Comp has been bought out. Let me read exactly what this says from the press release. And what it says is, A-Main Inc. has acquired certain assets of XP Innovations LLC, who has owned and operated Dan's Comp, the world's largest BMX store since 2005. Notably, A-Main has purchased the domain and trademarks of danscomp.com. Preparations are underway to quickly onboard a number of key brands in the freestyle segment and bring back the race category before the 2020 season gets underway. There's a whole bunch more on here saying that there's a revamped website that's going to be up and running in the coming days. They're going to be putting the current Dan's Comp customers into a platinum members section in a VIP program to receive rush order processing, extended return windows, and the highest level of rewards, whatever that means. The new location of Dan's Comp is going to be in North Carolina, where the A-Main headquarters is, and it says that it's going to reach 90% of the nation in 3 days with a shipping window. It also says that A-Main owns a number of other properties for cycling enthusiasts, including Performance Bicycles, Nash Bar, and A-Main Cycling. So, what is my take on all of this? Well, if you guys have been in BMX for an extended period of time, you probably remember when Dan's Comp was the biggest of the big. And then it started to slowly fade away. We heard some rumors, we heard a lot of different stuff about Dan's Comp. I've heard some things about them owing companies within BMX like gigantic sums of money and a lot of other terrible things, in addition to the fact that the very existence of Dan's Comp was terrible for bike shops. So in regards to them being bought out, I can only think of one thing. That is that this company would not be interested in Dan's Comp if they couldn't make money from it. I don't think that they're reviving the Dan's Comp name just to bring back the nostalgia of all of the 30-something-year-old dudes who were in the time of BMX when Dan's Comp was huge and not really considered the worst thing ever for bike shops. I don't think that they're in it to try and make people feel good. They're in it to make money. And if they didn't think they could do that, they wouldn't have bought the Dan's Comp name. But if you flip the coin and look at the other side, we can give examples like Source BMX, who's doing amazing things for BMX right now, in addition to running a very similar type store to Dan's Comp, both in the US and over in the UK. So it is possible for it to go either way, but what I'm reading here isn't names of specific BMX people who's got BMX at heart in it, and I'm just reading about corporations and companies and all of this different thing, and not really anyone that necessarily cares about the well-being of BMX. So until something actually happens, I'm going to reserve my judgment because I don't know what this could bring. It could be that they go into North Carolina, make a warehouse, make a skate park, and do amazing things just like Source BMX, and that would be awesome. But it also could be that they try to revive the Dan's Comp name and do exactly what it was doing and make it terrible for bike shops again and giving them an even harder time to stay in existence. Another thing worth thinking about here is that there are a lot of BMX freestyle companies that Dan's Comp burned. Like I said, they didn't pay for product and all of this other stuff that we've heard about in the past years. Are these companies going to even want to get involved with Dan's Comp? Would they have talked to these companies before buying the name to make sure that they would want to get involved? At the end of the day, everyone has to make money, and that's what everything comes down to. You can't lose money and stay in BMX. We've seen it time and time again, and with all these different companies who are now not in BMX because they couldn't make the money to stay afloat. So with that being said, I am very curious to hear what everyone thinks in the comments down below. Let's try not to make this a F Dan's Comp, Dan's Comp's the worst thing ever. Just put a little bit more thought into it and give some reasoning for your opinions. And let's have a great conversation about this one because it's a topic that could go one of many different directions, not just two. And it could end up being very good for us or very bad for bike shops. The next thing that I want to talk about is the Odyssey 10 spot with Mike Aitken. This is one that I know a lot of people are going to be very excited to watch, and this is one video from this week that I say if you're not going to watch anything else and you pick one video, this is the one you have to watch, and you have to watch from at least 5 minutes on, because Mike talks about a lot of things that I think a lot of people, not just within BMX, need to hear. One, he talks about all of his different video parts and how he's proud of all of them, and just how the accident that he had. And if you don't know, Mike Aitken had an accident where he fractured his skull and he was like paralyzed. He was in a coma, and similarly to Scotty Kramer, he had to relearn how to do literally everything. He talked about how it gave him an appreciation for all of the different video parts that he had. And then the next question after that one was asking how he did it and how he stayed positive. And just everything that he talks about are life lessons and things that I think a lot of people might not think about. He just says a lot of things that give perspective, and it's very, very important to hear. And like I said, you just have to watch this video from 5 minutes on, just to, if not, give you a better appreciation for Mike Aitken, his attitude, and his riding. And it's awesome that he's riding again and posting on Instagram for everyone to enjoy. And people like Odyssey and Fit and the people that run those companies are still supporting him, and it's amazing. And then the last thing I wanted to quickly mention before we get into the rest of the news for this week is that a video that I put together from my time in California a couple weeks ago is going live on the Our BMX YouTube channel tomorrow. So if you're not subscribed, go over there, subscribe to them, and stay tuned for the video that is going live tomorrow from my time in California. I am super stoked on the video and proud with how it came out. After only putting 8 days into filming this video, I'm pretty excited about the outcome. So hopefully you guys check it out, and I will definitely leave a link in the description below for you guys to check out whenever it does go live. Until then, it will be a link to the Our BMX YouTube channel. And just so you know, there will also be links to everything else that I've talked about and I'm going to talk about today in the order that I talk about it in the description. So let's move on to a few different contests and jams highlights videos. The first one is a highlights video from the Entity BMX shop Let's Play BMX Jam. Then we've got a Shire Jam 2019 highlights video and a Virginia Beach Reunion Jam 2019 video. I like to mention all of these jams because they're extremely important to BMX, and if we don't have local jams like these, it's just another thing taken away that brings all of the people in a scene together. They're very important, so they might not necessarily be the craziest video of the week with the most well-known people, but I'm always going to talk about these jam highlights videos. So if you have a local scene, you've got a cool local bike shop, throw a jam, make a video so I can talk about it. So after that, we can move into the videos from this week. The first one I want to talk about is called Ryan Nyquist Shreds His Backyard. It's uploaded to the Vital BMX YouTube channel, and it's 1 minute and 30 seconds of exactly that. It looks like he could have filmed this video in an hour, being Nyquist, but how many people could put together this well-rounded of a video in their backyard in like what looks like an hour of filming? He does lip tricks, he does jumping tricks, he does air quarter pipe tricks. There's just a little bit of almost everything in here. And Ryan, if you're watching this, somehow by some miracle, I see you with that rocket toothpick. I remember when Nathan Powell set the rocket toothpick stall for Clint Miller in his game over on the Lip Lord's Instagram page. Ryan asked Nathan if he could do that trick. Of course, Nathan said yes, and now it shows up over here in this video, which I think is pretty awesome. And the next video I want to talk about is called the Halahans Stacking Momentum. It's uploaded over on the Dig YouTube channel, and the Halahans, if you haven't heard about them, are the coolest BMX family east of the Mississippi and maybe even in the entire country. It's Shane Halahan, who's 10 years old, Nathan Halahan, who's 15 years old, Lucas Halahan, who's 16 years old, then we've got mom and dad, Mike and Jen Halahan, and then Casey, the younger sister. All 4 of the kids ride. I'm not sure how old Casey is, but she's also flowing around and ripping on her own bike. But this video focuses on Shane, Nathan, and Lucas, and it shows them ripping around the trails that they have at their house and the property that they called 9 acres. And it's super awesome to watch, not to mention the fact that they are just an awesome family in general, not just when it comes to BMX. They help out with the next generation jam that they have at the wheel mill every year. This year they had multiple next generation jams all around the East Coast, so that's awesome too. And just basically, if you haven't heard of the Halahans, look them up, get familiar, and start following the journey because they are an awesome family. After that, we've got another video involving trails. This one is just called Holly Trails, and it's of a covered set of dirt jumps in Brazil. After that, we're gonna flip it in the exact opposite direction of BMX and talk about Flatland. We've got a video for all of you Flatlanders out there with Scott Hagnas, and it's his 53rd birthday edit. 53 years old and still shredding Flatland. That is awesome, and that's why I wanted to put it right after a trails video and after a video about some 16, 15, and 10-year-old kids riding bikes, because with BMX, you don't quit when you get old when you quit. And then after that, I saw one over on BMX Union with Tom Dugan and Mike Aitken. This is a throwback video from 2013. In the post, it said that it showed up in the YouTube recommended, so he posted it up. This is over 12 minutes of a video with Mike Aitken and Tom Dugan. The first 5.5 minutes is kind of a skit that leads into the video. Then after that, it's just nothing but shredding, exactly what you would expect. And since we talked about Mike Aitken earlier and talked about his accident and coming back from it, this video is also one that was filmed of him riding after he recovered from his accident. So I think that's even cooler and definitely worth mentioning here. Then after that, just like I said the last 2 weeks, there's more Kink toasted champagne stuff coming out because they're trying to hype up their new video called Champagne that's coming out very soon. And this week we've got the Kink toasted champagne Madrid behind the scenes video. And that brings us into the product section from this week. The first thing that I want to talk about is a video called Up Late Shutting Down Bars with Matt Nordstrom. And I think that this is meant to be a promotional video for his signature bars from Fit Bikes. Talks about at the beginning how he runs them at 27.5 inches. There's a little bit of banter back and forth between him and Ethan Corrier, who runs the same bars at the stock 29 inches that they come out with. And after showing how to cut the bars with the pipe cutter while this is all going on, transitions into a riding video which has nothing but top-notch riding for both him and Ethan. So if you guys are interested, there's a link to the video in the description, then a BMX Union link that has a picture of the bars as well as their dimensions and all of the different specs that you need to know if you're interested in purchasing them. And then after that, we've got a quick promo video with Morrow for his signature Eclat tire. It's only 50 seconds long and it's Morrow, so if you're a fan, you know you're gonna like the video, and I don't want to talk about it for longer than the video is. After that is the 2019 Space Braced promo video. This one features a ton of different action sports, from skateboarding to BMX to downhill to wakeboarding to dirt bike riding. It's got everything in there and it's a pretty cool watch. So if you guys are interested, like I said, for the last 80 things, you know where to find it. Next, we've got an overview video of the Madera C4 drive side hub guard that just came out. This one's got Matt Copeland in here talking about the hub guard and the different features. I'm very curious to hear how plastic rear hub guards work because I've never had one. So if you guys have any experience with a plastic rear hub guard or know anyone who has, let me know in the comments down below, because I'm genuinely curious to hear if a plastic rear hub guard even works or how long it takes to completely destroy it. That being said, that's the last thing I have to talk about this week. So if you guys have any comments on the Dan's Comp thing or plastic hub guards or anything between there, let me know in the comments down below. Curious to hear from you. Let's get a conversation going. Check out the playlist right here if you want some more videos. Subscribe if you're new, and hopefully you do, so we can see you tomorrow for another video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.